Okay, thank you both for such an in-depth explanation. So can we see how AskCipher was designed with those in mind?
Definitely, Rebecca. Let me just bring up my demo, and we are going to do it real live. So this is actually my AskCipher account. Um, just looking confirmation that you can see it properly.
Yep.
Perfect. So the first thing that we were just talking is about the organizational policies. So let me just do the easiest example ever. I just have an example purchase order policy that I'm uploading into AskCipher, and I'm going to ask AskCipher that for this webinar, um, remember that our policy. So what we are going to do moving forward is governed by that. So AskCipher is going to start analyzing my request and is going to confirm that is adding the organizational policies. Okay, so it went and analyzed all the document that I fed it and gave me a couple of the highlights of what it did. There is a limit of $5,000. I need approval manager for all the PO, and there is specific limits for specific cases. And where that is if I go to my profile memory and go to organizational memory, I can now see that policy in my memory, right? So one of the first things that I like to always poke around is let's try to be mischievous and let's try to create something that the policy is preventing to do. Because the policy says the limit is 5,000. So I'm going to say, okay, let's create a PO in NetSuite. I'm connected to NetSuite right now, and ask all the questions that need to create that PO. So right now, it's starting to analyze my request. And as you can see, it's checking the organizational policies to see if oh, hold on, policy violation. I am requesting something that my policy is telling me explicitly you should not be doing because my limit is 5,000. And it's giving me a couple of options of what you can do. You can split it into multiple POs, okay? I can request an exception, or I can reduce the scope and do a standard. So I actually not going to do any of those. I'm going to, okay, I make a mistake, fat finger, my bad. I'm going to create one that is just for $500. And let's do it the same. So here's the first couple of things. I was very generic. I didn't even mention to which vendor was this this PO or what I'm going to do. So it knows from the configurations of my systems what I need to enter. So I'm going to say, okay, the vendor name is Carlos Palacio. And he's going to start looking into the system. Okay, now he needs what is your category? So my category is actually professional services. And it's actually in real time talking to my business systems to gather what information need to be. Okay, need that description. So this is AI consulting for AskCipher. And as you can see, the scope of work and deliverables is required by policy. That's why it's also enforcing these type of questions. Quantity, so it will be 10 hours of $50. And it's already based on my initial conversation saying, okay, you wanted to put it for 500. So perfect. It does a validation. 10 hours, 50 an hour is 500. So you're good. And your business justification for this, and based on my policy, also knows that it's going to go to the memo field. So this is going to be okay. The department is uh, today. The delivery date is going to be today. And I'm going to say not require any extra documents. And now it's confirming that it's going to pull the NetSuite purchase order requirements and create a PO for us. And now it's starting to search for that particular vendor. It confirmed that found the vendor and is confirming that no information is missing. And is asking me to confirm that all the information is correct. Vertical is corporate, location is Canada, department is executive office. Now, I want to highlight the department that I initially put was not one of the departments available, so it actually showed me what is available. And now it's created a PO for us. And I'm going to show a little trick that for people that constantly are creating POs on the same basis and on the same parameters. Perfect. If finished, give me the link because I want to validate that it was created and it was created properly. Okay, so actually give me the link in NetSuite. And as you can see, my PO was just created. here is because I'm going to be creating similar POs very often. I'm going to say, remember all this information for the next PO creation. And is starting to save all this information that I already gave and use. So the next time you will not need to ask all these questions. And just confirm. And if I go to the memory and my personal memories, I can see that it actually remember all the things. And why is that important? Because now if I say, okay, let's just create another PO, and this time let's just say is for 100. It should vendor Carlos Eduardo Palacio Silva. And it's just asking me the things that knows that most likely are going to be different. And as you can see, would you like to use the same account? So he knows that in the memory, I have been creating POs as I asked to remember. Yes, please use all the information on. So I don't need to actually enter it over and over. Uh, use the suggested. And now is ready to create a PO. So initially, the first time that was learning from what I do took around 5 minutes. Now in less than 2 minutes, I can create an XPO. So that is the power of the memories. That is the power of pushing organizational policies to enforce the work that we do. And I don't actually need to know how NetSuite operates, what fields were mandatory, or what's required. Everything is enforced by a Cipher. Now, I'm going to show even something more interesting. Right now, we were just talking about one system. We are using NetSuite in the PO case, but I have also Salesforce connected to my environment. And people make mistakes entering information in one environment versus the other. Sometimes typos, sometimes forget to copy. So I'm going to ask Cipher, could you please compare efficiency account in NetSuite versus Salesforce and present a table with the. So I'm asking, okay, at the same time, go to two of my business systems, locate a particular account and compare it and show me the differences. This is just as an illustration. We can do any type of action in those two systems that are allowed by the system. So as you can see right now, is getting the full details from App Efficiency customer in NetSuite, and now is creating the table for us. And is presenting the key differences between the two accounts. So that is where we were talking about the integration and the communication, the change of the paradigm that a Cipher is pushing now. You don't need to do these interconnections, custom connection, integration. That is past. Now a Cipher can rule and govern all those communications and connections between your apps and enforce organizational policies and knows how I operate, remember what I'm doing, and allow me to be more efficient and dedicate my time to something that is really valuable for the organization and not just the operation.